Well, what's up, everybody? Back at it again. Mind of Opex. You're listening to the best philosophy channel on the internet. Reason being is because I don't just listen to a podcast and just regurgitate everything I hear on a podcast or what a scientist says. I tell you exactly where philosophy comes from, which is reason and evidence. So I take something from reality, I put it through the lens of my logic, and we figure it out, right? So let's dive into it, shall we? This one's going to be a different type of video. I haven't done something like this in a while, which I need a lot more of. I need a lot more of this kind of content than the other content. So let's just dive into it, shall we? Cue the intro! That's right. We don't pull bullshit on this channel. It's straight from the mind of Opex. Let's dive into it. So I want to talk about touching. I want to talk about togetherness. I want to be talking about closeness with other individuals. This could be people in your family. This could be people in your life. It could be your children playing with other children. And the importance of such. See, the problem that we're dealing with now, and I don't even want to really talk about post-COVID crap, because you guys should be totally disobeying all that bullshit on all the protocols if you're intelligent and if you care about the future of the planet or your future of your children. But the point is I'm getting at is that there's a lot of problems going on right now that are geared to separating us and making us distant from each other. As you see, they have these Zoom calls. They want us all a picture talking to somebody else halfway across the world, instead of being in the same room, really feeling each other, really understanding each other. We're talking to each other on cameras to each other. What do you think's going to happen in our genealogy, in our genetics, that are going to happen as a result of this? Or rather, what kind of devolution is going to occur in the humans of the future because of said technology and the said protocols now that are separating us, making us distant? Don't hug your grandmother, for God's sake. No, what your grandmother fucking needs is to be fucking hugged. Period. And let's dive into the reasons why, shall we? So, let's start here. I have a place to start. Now, I haven't had a coffee, I haven't had anything, so if I'm a little off the rails, I apologize. I just know I have to make this video. I didn't think about anything before I turned on the camera. I just literally turned it on and cue the intro! So, okay, we're 3 minutes into it and I barely said anything. Let's dive into it. Let's say 1,000 years, 2,000, 5,000, all of human history. When a child is born, now it's an infant that is in reality of the world. Where is that child located? On the mother. On. Super close. Breastfeeding. Super close. Understanding that child is taken care of, is healthy, is cared for, is loved. And that would show the kid that the kid shouldn't be in stress, the kid shouldn't be worrying, the kid shouldn't be shy, the kid shouldn't be having all these problems. And the thing is, when you had the child with you at all times, the child would see things and be involved in things. What's happening nowadays with children? Put them in the fucking crib in another room. Barely seeing your kid because mommy's at work. Whoa! See, what's happening is that there's a diversion from love. They are trying to separate us, make us not love each other. They want to divide us, whether that is in the family, whether that is other families of different skin colors and shit, or different ideologies or religions or some bullshit, right? And say that's separate than us. But it is not separate. It's different, but it is not separate. See, the separation is an evil entity from an evil mindset or evil consciousness that is designed to separate us and make us all fight amongst each other instead of love each other and be powerful. See, let's look at an adult. All right, let me give you an example as an adult. An adult who is alone, right? They live alone, they don't have any family, they don't talk to anybody. How well is that person going to communicate with others? How well is that person going to be an outstanding citizen in their community? Probably not. Probably doesn't give a fuck about their community because they're all alone. They don't really experience love or communication or friendship or anything, right? So that person decides to essentially be selfish, right? Because that is all we have left when we don't have others or companionship. We live for self. So an adult who doesn't get to see their spouse because they don't have one, they don't have any children, they don't have any friends, or essentially no friends other than probably co-workers or the bullshit friendships that you see on your day-to-day basis, which you have no way to get around. This person is not going to be an alpha male, straight up, because they're probably not going to be, let's say it's a man, not going to be able to talk well to women. Their communication's off. They don't experience it. They don't know what love is. They don't go in for hugs when they meet someone, right? Which you should do, and we're only 6.5 minutes into it, but we'll talk about it. They don't experience hugs. They don't experience happiness or companionship. They only have gratification and satisfaction based on selfish desires and needs. And that could be anything. That could be anything. It could be food, gluttony, or let's say they masturbate, or they do something for selfish needs rather than to fulfill relationship needs, or to understand that others need their help and sympathy and guidance and help and whatever. Whether it's help moving or you just need a hug just to have somebody experience that pain with you, right? So the togetherness is the fix. But how do we get to fix the separation? Get the fuck off the internet. If you're on the internet, do it for a short period of time where it's not too much. Now, we've talked about video games. You guys asked me my thought on video games. I say no. Fantasy is a great thing to have if you understand it's fantasy and you're not putting your life into fantasy. But if that fantasy is overriding your life and the majority of your day is based on fantasy, whether it's video games, whether it's internet, you need to get away from that. The Bible says if you're sinning, you need to gouge out or cut off anything that is preventing you from stopping that sin. So, for example, if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out. Get it out. If you can't stop it yourself, if you have no control over it, which is bullshit, if you don't have discipline, then you need to remove those sins out of your life. Now, the same would apply when people are telling you to split up or to be single and be away from your family. Don't visit grandma because, no, what she needs is your hug. See, when you're old and on your deathbed, the thing that would make you die is less to do with your health. It has something to do with your mental health. Sorry. It has less to do with your physical health, more to do with your mental health. It's powerful, guys. See, if you can't contribute or you have no purpose, you're going to die because there's no reason to be here. You can go fuck off. And that's what they're doing to us. They're having us stuck into basically cubicles or apartments, and you're alone generally because you don't want to be with other people. And you're on the internet all day. What do you think's happening with your genetics? Your genetics are not going to be passed on. And if they are already passed on, you're probably not going to be a great father or mother to your children. And two, whenever you look at how children are raised, if you don't have your children with you almost at all times, there's a separation. There's going to be a communication barrier. There's going to be more peer pressure rather than discipline or guidance. So what I'm telling you guys to do is to be together. See, if a lion in the jungle stubs her toe, really, really injured, blood gushing everywhere, very painful to walk, can't keep up with the pride, can't tackle any prey, can't be of any use. What happens to that lion in nature? Guys, that lion will go under a tree, depressed because it can't keep up with the pride, isn't even any type of use to the pride, can't be utilized in any facet, right? And it's another mouth to feed. So what does that animal do naturally? It goes under a tree and just starves to death or dehydrates to death. See, this is the thing. See, if you're alone, you're going to die. If you're alone, you don't have power. What the Bible even says, I'm sorry I keep bringing up Bible things that are more to do with religion than philosophy, but it's intelligent nevertheless. Damn, what was I going to say? I hate when I do that. Again, my mind's a little scatterbrained right now. I need a coffee. I got to go do more chores. Today's a great day, a beautiful day. And I'm going to go visit family for a little bit because I go to visit my family members every single week. I go visit my grandmother every week. I go visit my mom every week. I go visit everyone I can possibly visit every single week. Every week. Every week. Every week. Because if I miss a week hanging out with my family, yeah, they're going to be fine. But there's togetherness, there's oneness, there's a burst of energy. It's almost like if my 91-year-old grandmother was alone, which she is on the weekends especially. She's totally alone, 91 years old, alone, nobody, just has a TV in front of her. It's summertime, so it's too hot to go and walk around the block and stuff. But the point is that I'm getting at is I go visit her. See, if I didn't visit her, she'd be dying faster. Faster. She has no one. Dying faster. But because I come and I give her purpose, I give her reasoning, she still cooks dinner. Italian grandma. My Italian grandma will make some pasta or chicken cutlets or anything. Gnocchis. And she loves that stuff. She needs a reason to be here. Right? So if she has no one to feed and she's sitting on a couch all day, she's going to wither away and die. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. And just the addition of me coming in once a week, let's say tomorrow's Sunday, I go Sunday, which I am going to go tomorrow to visit her. I give her a hug. I give her a reason to move around and to have a reason to talk or a person to talk to. And it's going to give her a second wind almost. It gives her a boost of energy she would have not had if she was alone, because she would have went down that route of depression. And that's what they want. They want us all depressed. They all want us separated. Again, more than just COVID, this has been a plan for decades. And divide and conquer has been around for thousands of years. So, right. So, me going to visit my grandma is saving her life or prolonging the longevity of her life. And is making her happier than not visiting her. Now, when you have a child and you're at work all day and they're at school all day, now they're in little bubbles and everything's sanitized with all the theater, you know. Well, what happens? Kids can't even play. Watch my video on the importance of kids playing. It probably got the least amount of views of anything on my channel. And it was one of the more important videos. And I will reiterate that video in the future, and we'll try to get a lot more views because this is important information. When a kid can't play with another kid, what do you think happens? Just look at the two people. One kid under parents that keep them inside. Buy them video games. Get them excited about a cartoon or some shit. Right? And parents are at work all day, and then they come home and they have little time to actually communicate and talk and guide and do all the parent stuff, right? That parent is essentially making the kid fatter, so less physical health, less mental health because they don't have practice communicating. They probably don't know how to argue. They don't know how to talk to girls. Things like that, which is all important traits, right? Even whether you're a teenager going through puberty or not, talking to women shouldn't be a weird fucking thing. It shouldn't be. Your parents should have taught you, this is a woman, say hi, etc. How are you doing? Proper etiquette, communication skills, right? And they don't get that when they're talking to people on the fucking internet, when everyone's a fucking troll and there's 12-year-olds out there that can't wait to talk shit to a 34-year-old. Can't wait. Oh, I put that adult in his place, right? That's what you get on the internet. You don't get me on the internet because people like me get shadow banned. So instead of parents saying, well, I'll put my kids in school, well, how about you take your kids out of school, be around your kids, be hands-on with your kids, teach your kids, explain to your kids, well, the reason why we're putting the seed in the ground in June instead of May is because the cold weather or whatever. Like explaining and hands-on and experience, and that kid's gonna have a lot more intelligence growing up, especially when you teach them at a young age. That's why a kid who grows up with Christianity or racism or you name it, if a kid grows up taught a certain thing, it's going to be with them in their adulthood. That's why you teach them young. Well, guess what? They steal your kid from you, essentially. They brainwash you to allow them to steal your kid. Call it public education. And what do? They take your kid at a very young age, after you taught them how to stand up, how to walk, how to talk, how to be etiquette with others, and be a reasonable human and understand why they're doing it. Now, all of that shit's bullshit because now they're with essentially libtards, essentially school teachers and administrations and peer pressure from other students to do other things that are anti what your parents want or what is needed for your development. See, when the teacher then all of a sudden tells you, sit down and shut up at 4 years old, where's your fucking childhood? Where's your learning? Regurgitation on command is not learning. If I read something and I regurgitate it, yes, do I remember it? Yes. Do I understand it? Probably not. Do I even believe it? Probably, because it's from authority. Same thing would apply naturally with your parents. This is a natural thing from your parents that has been bestowed from parent to child for thousands of years. Now we get rid of the parent, especially the duality, the husband-wife duality, yin and yang, nurture, be stern. You need that duality. You need a mother and a father. Now these kids are brought up with 10 fathers, 10 mothers, and no siblings. Right? I know it's hard to understand, and I know I just threw that out there, but in my grandma's day, let's say, right? Like in the 1950s or 40s, right? In those days when they were having kids. Do you think, let's just put it this way, they would have many children with the same person? Many children, same person. Nowadays, it's almost the opposite. Everyone's got a mom, a nana, a stepmom, whatever, right? Everyone has all these fucking things, all these parental guidances, but not one stern father, one nurturing mother. Where are they? It's very rare these days, and children need it. It doesn't matter if you're Mexican or African or Asian. It doesn't fucking matter. In every situation, in every parent-child relationship, if you don't have two parents for your child, that child is going to be brought up much worse. Much worse. You're taught as a child, and you're being taught by other people. You're being taught by your peers. This would be, oh, I learned Santa Claus isn't real by the age of 5 because everyone around school is saying that Santa Claus isn't real. And then how much are you going to believe your parents? Parents, Santa's coming down the chimney. Little Johnny, 5 years old at school, Santa isn't real, you idiot. Wait till he goes down the chimney. Put a camera there. Watch him. Like, you'll find out real quick Santa Claus isn't real and your parents lied to you. How is that going to be on the psyche of the child in their development into their adolescent ages, into their adulthood? How is that going to result? How is that going to turn out? Is that going to be a good thing? I don't think so. Right? So, we need to be with our children. That's 1. 2, touch. Don't be scared of fucking viruses, guys. Viruses have been around for thousands of years. Be afraid of them genetically engineering, or not genetically, but engineering the nanotechnology to be more destructive. Worry about that. Instead of, well, we gotta stay 6 feet apart. How about you just fucking blow the fuck up? No, I'm gonna rephrase that before I get fucking police officers showing up to my house, because I don't advocate violence. But why don't we just shut down these businesses called virology centers? Do you need a virology center? No. If you know what they're doing, you know they're modifying these things to become more lethal. Do you know what Ebola is? Do you guys even know what Ebola is? Anyways, do you know what E. coli is? E. coli. So, there's one person I don't follow, but I'm aware of, that for 30 years, he's been putting bacteria in a new test tube, mixing in bacteria of new different types of chemicals and different types of environments that they should die in. And this guy is for 30 plus years alone, just him. Imagine everyone else that works at these centers and these medical centers. And he basically mutates these bacteria to survive anything. For 30 years have been making super bacteria. Your body can't fight that shit off. It can't. They have modified and mutated bacteria to reproduce faster and to survive more acidic, your gut bacteria, like what would normally kill bacteria. This shit ain't gonna die. Your antibodies can't even kill this shit. Your blood cells, your red blood cells and white T cells, and they can't fight off E. coli. It can't fight off this mutated bacteria. But that's what they're doing over and over again. So instead of saying, I'm just going to keep my distance from others, how about you stop that evil? Come on, use your head. Are you going to be in cowering fear? Or are you just going to shut down the businesses that are keeping you in cowardly fear? I mean, duh? I mean, how much IQ do you need? 60 to figure that out? They're mutating these things to kill us. And they're practicing it over and over, making it more and more deadly, where we can't fight it off. But all you need to do is wear a mask. Billions of people, you guys need to wear a mask because of this 5 or 6 virology centers over the world. 5 or 6 main ones that are, those level 4s. Alright, I don't know how far we're in this video, but I actually have to make another video for the weed tube soon, so I don't have much juice. But let's dive into touching. When your children's playing with other children, not just in a bubble and the other kids over there, or talking to each other online, which is not giving you any type of verbal skills or communication skills, and is getting you separate and selfish from society, or from your loved ones and family. And it's putting you down a path where you're probably not gonna reproduce in your lifetime. You're probably gonna be a shit person in your whole life. because you haven't gotten those skills. You haven't understand reality. You haven't understood yourself, or how your being, your subject being, affects its surroundings and the objective reality, let alone the other subjects. So the point is, I'm getting at, if you're touching children, you're feeling things. You're getting endorphins, you're getting chemical releases, and these compounds are essential. And when they excrete, it's because your body needs this. Have you ever felt something good and you're like, oh, I don't want this to end? You're watching a movie, which is a horrible example for me because I don't watch movies and I think it's all horseshit. But you're watching a movie and you're like, oh, I just don't want this to end. Or you're on a date with someone and you're like, man, I can't, I don't want to leave you. I just want to keep talking to you. I just want to keep. You're not going to experience those things if you're separate, or if you're suppressing yourself from feeling those things, or you got to harden your heart in order to talk to someone, right? That's not good. You need to be vulnerable to others. Let your ego, throw your ego in the trash to talk to someone, because your ego is separating yourself from that other person. And what is life? Life is a bunch of oneness. It's a bunch of live creatures and animals and plants and fungi and bacteria. These things are all life forms, and we're all interconnected, whether that is on a food base, whether that's in an energy base, a mental realm, a consciousness realm. We are interconnected. We are together. See, as much as I'm going too deep for the wrong video. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go back to touching. I know when you are touching others, you are experiencing others. See, have you ever had a date and you guys are on the other side of a table at a dinner or something, where you're right next to each other, but one's on the phone, or both of you guys are on the phone, or tablet, or screens? See, as close as you think you are, you're not close enough. If you want to truly be intimate, which is necessary for reproduction, for happiness, for feeling like you have a purpose. See, if you don't have that interconnectedness, you don't have that touching, you don't have the hugs, you don't have that connection, well, what's going to happen? Right? Like, there's people that I don't get along with, but as soon as I hug that person, I feel like I don't have to punch them in the face. See, there's a lot of things that are connected with touching. This could be just touching them on the shoulder. So today's Saturday, a huge UFC card tonight, Conor McGregor. In the interview, you will see Joe Rogan put his hand on the person's shoulder to keep them still, stress-free. When you touch someone, their stress alleviates. I have a roommate, my patient, that hates being touched, hates it. And he's very selfish, he's very dumb, like physically, mentally, and spiritually, he is not there. And 100%, if he had touching, if he had vulnerabilities, if he lost his ego, if, he was together, if smiles were contagious, you know what I mean? If you're with somebody and you are touching and happy and even as kids, you're punching each other in the eye, you dumbass, that's a connection. Right? That's a connection. Now, it's different if you're really trying to harm that person, right? But you can play basketball with each other, and you're playing basketball, and you're pushing the other one back because you're trying to make room for you to shoot toward the hoop, right? Those things are necessary. When you don't have that, you don't feel like you're together. You don't feel like you have a purpose. You feel like the world's a different way, an evil way, and you're more susceptible to depression and loneliness, rather than togetherness and happiness and joy, right? So when your family comes together and you're having a dinner, right? And let's say it's Thanksgiving dinner, which is the big dinner in America, right? Thanksgiving dinner. Turkey's there, the stuffing, this, that, and the third, corn, blah, blah, blah. And you're family's all together and you're all right next to each other, touching each other, even if it's elbow to elbow, you know, just touching each other, and pass the butter and the salt. And everyone in your family, let's say, on Thanksgiving dinner, are having a good time. And if they're not having a good time, they're probably, again, in this mindset that we can't be together. We're separate. Because the majority of the day they're separate. They're either alone in their house, separated, stuck on the internet, trying to find some type of rationality or some type of happiness, some type of joy, whether this is through entertainment of comedy, or whether it's a drama, whether it's a love story, right? Everyone wants to go to the internet or to their screens to escape the reality that they're in, instead of fixing the reality that they're in. See, I'm against selfishness in the term of lifestyle. If your lifestyle is selfish, that is no good. But you cannot help others until you help yourself. So you must be selfish to some extent. So what I'm trying to get at here is that when you are around your family or friends, touch them. They might not like it, but it is needed. They need that. It doesn't matter if the kid's a 5-year-old kid. It doesn't matter if the adult's a 50-year-old man who hasn't been touched in 20 years. It doesn't matter. The point is, touch each other. Hey, man, how you doing? Just a little... Stop. Oh, tiny elbow. No, get in with the fucking hug. Feel each other. It ain't homosexual. Oh, that's homo, hugging men. Nah, if it's your brother, if it's your best friend, man, get in here. Hug that motherfucker. There ain't nothing gay about it. I mean, unless you're trying to kiss during it. I mean, there's nothing gay about it. There's nothing that should... There should be no red flags going up that, oh, this is weird. That's normal. Look, kids should be wrestling. They should be wrestling with each other, trying to get the upper hand and learning how to maneuver their body over each other. What do you think kids or animals do in the wild? A pack of cubs in the wild. They wrestle with each other. They learn how to wrestle with each other, so when they're adults, they learn how to take down the prey, or even in their adolescent years. Learn how to take down prey and learn how to take advantage of situations. These things that you learn as a kid go into adulthood to make you successful. But this cannot be if you're stuck playing video games saying fuck every 5 minutes or minute that you just died in a Call of Duty game. Right? You're not going anywhere in life. You're not getting any friendships or true companionships. And now imagine this at a large scale to the level of billions of people. All of society is now structured to be against each other, to be divided. And when you're stuck in that mindset of division, again, as an adult, if you've been divided your whole life, you're home alone your whole life, how are you going to treat others? How are you going to be the light in the world? How are you even going to go to heaven? Right? How are you going to be the person that you should be, or your greatest version? You probably won't strive for those things, most likely. Right? Because you don't understand the problem. Because if you understood the problem, you'd be touching people. You'd be communicating with people. You'd be practicing with people. Right? Like you'd be going out on dates with people. But no, today's world, they don't do that. Now it's, I'm on Tinder, but no, God forbid if I ever even met up with this person. I just like to swipe and I like to communicate. Hey, how's it going? And just talk on an app. Get rid of that shit. Go to, if you see a person you like, talk to that person. And if you see it just a person, just say hi. That regular, everyday, proper etiquette. Holding doors for people. We're losing it all, and it all stems from lack of feeling and lack of touch. Touchy-feely. And if you had touchy-feely, and I'm not talking about old pedophile shit, I'm just talking about your kids, play with your kids, wrestle and play, right? Kids like to hop on taller people, right? Like my niece used to hop on me and try to climb on me and stuff. That's necessary. It's weird because it's children, but that weirdness should be alleviated because it's natural, right? If my niece back when she was 5, 6 years old, right, and I'm 28 probably, you know, and I'm 5'10" and she's 3 foot something or whatever it is, I don't know. You know, she can hop on over me and climb on me, and I'm a jungle gym for her. And just that alone is better than not being that jungle gym for her. You understand? She had nothing but an iPad. She's going to probably grow up to be a TikTok fucking bitch. Straight up. But because now there's an alpha male, someone with guidance, she can't be that person. She's going to strive to do and be the things that she loves, rather than being a product of society. Do you understand? If you want to be the change in the world, bring your kid to out of school, homeschool, unschool, be around your kids, show them the way, be there at all levels of the thing. If you have a child and you're keeping your child in the other room, your child cannot be an alpha male. Your child is not going to learn the things that he needs to learn as a child to be successful in life. He won't. She won't. Won't happen. So this video has to be a little short. I have a lot of things I got to do today. I'm going to go get that fucking coffee now. If you guys understood my video of the reasons for touching and feeling and stuff, and not weirdly, not like, oh, look at the boobies. Not that. But let's even talk about that. Let's talk about that. Women, if your man's all stressed out and pissed, take off your bra, your shirt, put his hands on your breasts. There's no more problem anymore. Just from a touch. Your man playing with your boobs, he's all of a sudden not in a bad mood anymore. Why is that? Because endorphins are rushing. And not just like, oh, I'm going to fuck her and have a fucking rock hard dick. I'm talking about just feeling breasts. Those breasts are a stress reliever for men. Naturally, stress reliever. You don't need to go get a stress ball and hang out in your room all day. You need a breast to feel. Now, I know what you guys probably think a lot of things about what I just said there, but it's the truth. It's the truth. If a woman is pissed off that their man comes home from work pissed off, take out your titties. Problem solved. Problem is solved. I mean, not if they lost their job. I mean, you can't reclaim their job off of it or something, but you know, the mental problem is solved. And if your man's happy, he's gonna make you happy. You know the saying, happy wife, happy life. It goes both ways. You can't have a miserable man and a happy wife. It can't happen. She's going to be torn down by that misery. Vice versa. So I'm just saying, if you touch more and felt more and put down your phones and stop going on apps and alleviated those times that you're alone on a screen, and you decide, I'm going to be relevant in life, in my family, in my community, if you are going to be relevant and happy and joyful and seeking more fulfillment, you are going to touch others. You're going to feel others. You're going to hug them right away. Because the second you hug someone, who hugs somebody and starts crying? Unless someone just died and you're at the funeral or something, right? Other than those situations, which, let's talk about that. Why do you hug people at funerals to cry? It gives them meaning and purpose. In the depths of their despair and in their agony and pain, there you are to make it all better. Do you guys understand? Kiss each other more. Feel each other more. Be human again. We're not androids. We're not robots. So that's essentially, obviously I can go on this tangent all fucking day, but that's enough. I think you guys understand where I'm getting at. Maybe one day we'll do a part 2 to this, or at least talk about more about kids playing and the importance of kids playing, like in baseball, right? If it's just kids playing with no coaches, kids will argue, well, this is the rules. Well, no, this is the rules. No, I was out. No, I was in. And they would argue and understand how to properly engage in an argument with their peers. Instead of all of a sudden never arguing because, or properly arguing, because you're up watching a movie all day and playing video games all day and you have no true human experience. Well, what's going to happen, guys? You're not going to be able to argue properly because you're arguing, fuck you, noob, on fucking Call of Duty. Where's your skills? Where's your ability to talk to others and not be shy? And that's what I'm talking about. Being together. Allowing your kids to be together. When I was a kid, when I got chicken pox, everyone got chicken pox. Everyone had to come to me. I was the man when I had chicken pox. Now, there's a common cold. Guys, there's a common cold that everyone fucking has. And no one's dying. But when I was a kid, I had the chicken pox. And everyone came to get the chicken pox. Everyone's family brought their kid around chicken pox to get chicken pox because it was healthier. Guys, everything's backwards now. I need you guys to wake up. Follow me on this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's the best philosophy channel on the planet because it comes straight out of my mind and not straight out of a textbook. Alright guys, that's enough for this video. Stay tuned for plenty more content coming. I'll probably try to get a video once a week here on the main channel. I'm also on the WeedTube now, so I'm doing WeedTube channel videos once a week or so. Plus I have my own life. I work 7 days a week. I work out 7 days a week. I read the Bible 7 days a week. I visit family 4 days a week. I'm busy. I go to my farm 7 days a week. I have chickens. I have tons of crops. I'm a busy man, and I'm taking time out to enlighten the world and to save the world. Thank you guys for watching this video. Again, stay tuned for plenty of content. It's Opex. Time for my coffee. I'm out.